Today, former Democratic Senator Russ Feingold has a forthcoming book about the dangers of a constitutional convention. What's the key danger?
The key danger is that first, it could put all of our constitutional rights up for grabs. The right is doing this under the radar, and we need to pay attention because the risks are profound. Russ Feingold's book, The Constitution in Jeopardy, is one that talks about the dangers of an Article 5 convention, which could be a runaway convention because the Constitution does not set any parameters around a constitutional convention. And actually, Peter Prindiville, a scholar who wrote the book with Senator Russ Feingold, warns that the convention could operate as a freestanding, distinct constitutional body without clear guidance on how it would function, and it's not even clear who would have authority over the convention. Congress, not the president, not Congress, not the states, not the courts. And so that's the real danger.
Right. And I was about to ask you, it's sort of a leading question, what are the rules governing a convention? Because when you and I talked about this before, the thing that blew my mind was, while there are rules that you have to follow to call the convention, once the convention is called, and, folks have been saying for years, we need to have a constitutional convention to add in a balanced budget amendment. So you could use that as the reason for calling the convention, but once the convention is called, as you said, all of our rights are then on the table.
That's exactly right. And actually, the effort for a balanced budget amendment calling for an Article 5 convention to discuss that has 28 calls. So they are only 6 votes away, 6 states away from being able to call a convention. So this is not the way we normally amend the Constitution. Usually we do it through the constitutional amendment route where the House and Senate pass a resolution by 2/3 vote, send it to the states for ratification. This is states through the legislature. They don't need to go to the governor except for one state in South Carolina. They pass resolutions that don't even need to go through any kind of, committee process. They can call that, and, there's a lot that we don't know. There are no guidelines or rules for a convention. There's no clear oversight body, the judicial, legislative, or executive body that would have any authority. And the convention could basically expand the issues they discuss by amendments they propose. And the convention could also be open to special interests. I mean, you could have corporate interest paying delegates. How delegates are selected is up for grabs, although there's an interesting new report from the Center for Media and Democracy that looked at, what states have done around how delegates could be selected. One of the things they noted was that of the 50 state laws on how delegates to an Article 5 convention would be selected, they found it would be politicians, not voters, in charge. Only one state, Rhode Island, said voters would have some kind of role. And yep, go ahead.
Yeah, and we're actually out of time. But the one thing, Karen, that folks need to understand is any rights that have been granted under the Constitution, even as an amendment, such as granting full U.S. citizenship to the former slaves, would be up for grabs in a constitutional convention. And with the way folks are acting right now, I wouldn't put it past them during a constitutional convention to go back to calling me 3/5 of a person.